Acting Secretary of the Navy, Thomas Harder. We were with the President of Sikorsky, Paul Lemo, and Anita Hill, Stephanie Hill. I'm sorry, Stephanie Hill. So as actually the acting secretary, he was at Electric Boat as well as at the Coast Guard Academy, because he's a 20-year veteran of the Coast Guard Academy. And he understands, as do the other folks who are here today, understand that what we need to be doing is to producing the best product, the safest product, the product that is ready for our men and women in uniform. And the secretary was able to see the work of the highly skilled work of the employees here, and this is looking at, we saw the 53K and the production of that, as well as the presidential helicopter. And we take great pride, I hope all of you do as well, is when that plane lifts off from the White House grounds, I know I cheer because I know where that helicopter was made and who are the folks who were doing that. So I'm enormously proud to work for Sikorsky. And what they were able to demonstrate to us today is not only what we're producing now in a Black Hawk and a 53K, but where we are going to be and trying to be in the future with new technology, and it's important to our entire delegation, and the Senator reflects that effort as well, for us to be able to work with the Navy, with the Army, with the Marine Corps, etc., and be able to deliver the contracts that are needed for our national defense, and provide work to the folks here in Connecticut. I sit now as chair of the Appropriations Committee, and I view that my role is really to to be able to assist and to help to bring resources to overall to our industry in Connecticut, because we are at the cutting edge with regard to national security, and as I have said, we have the finest workforce in the country as well, and we need to be working with them and protecting their jobs. So whether it's the 53K or the MH-60 helicopter going forward, we are going to look at how we provide a long and lasting line for the future. And so delighted to be here. Thank Sikorsky for their hospitality. More than that, thank you for contributing so mightily, not only to Connecticut's economy, the nation's economy, and most of all to our national defense. Senator Blumenthal.
Thank you, Rosa. I'm really honored to be here with Rosa DeLauro. As you know, she is the chairman of the Appropriations Committee. She decides, or she has a major part in deciding, how much money goes into these helicopters. The making, buying, and using of them all around the world. And I'm on the Armed Services Committee. Every year we fight hard for more helicopters. The reason is, very simply, helicopters are absolutely key to our national defense. They save lives on the battlefield. They force multiply the power of our troops in combat. They move troops and equipment to places where other vehicles simply cannot go. We are here in the helicopter capital of the world. Sikorsky is the helicopter capital of the world, and it is part of Connecticut's arsenal of democracy. It saves lives in natural disasters and on the battlefield, and that's why I'm going to be fighting for more Blackhawks, more CH-53Ks, the heavy lift, more of all of the aerial vehicles that it will be producing over these next years. Now, here's what I've seen and is so amazing. To visit the factory floor here is absolutely mind-boggling. To see the level of technology, it's all digital, it's all computerized. no more your grandfather's manufacturing. Sikorsky is not only at the tip of the spear, it is at the cutting edge of technology, and it is producing helicopters that can't be seen, can't be shot down, can't be intercepted by our adversaries. That's what Sikorsky is doing to make us safer. And it couldn't do it without a workforce that is trained and skilled as no other in the world. What you have here is skilled and trained helicopter makers. They don't produce widgets, they don't produce other kinds of products. They make helicopters, and they make the best in the world. The challenge is training, attracting, recruiting, sustaining that workforce. This plant is going to lose 1,000 or more trained, skilled employees over the coming years. It has to attract that 1,000 to replace them. And it is actively going to high schools, to community colleges, every place where anybody can be recruited to go through the skill training necessary to do this extraordinary work. So the challenge for Sikorsky is skill training, skill training, skill training, attracting, recruiting the people needed to fill these jobs. There are good jobs here, career jobs, and Sikorsky is reaching out so that it can continue to support our national defense, sell its helicopters to our allies and partners overseas for their defense, and make sure that we continue to be the strongest nation in the history of the world. So I'm really proud to be here today. I was with the acting secretary down at Electric Boat yesterday. We had a good tour there. Connecticut should be very proud. We are the arsenal of democracy when it comes to undersea warfare with submarines and aerospace, helicopters, and the F-35. We command the sea and the air in ways that few other states do, and we should be very proud of the skilled workers and the leaders of Sikorsky who help us do it. Thank you.
If I could just add two things that we saw here today. The senator talked about the technology and digital technology. What was wonderful to witness were the folks who had been here, as I said, 15, 20, 30 years, and the transference. And we asked about, was it difficult to be trained in the new technology? No, not at all. So the notion that we cannot provide people with new skills to make their jobs easier and more productive, and the opportunity for them to be able to progress on those jobs. But you have to see the way it is digitized in a way that, boy, they are facile with it. And that wasn't true 15, 20, 25 years ago. So that transformation was, I think it's significant and really is to the credit of the investment that Sikorsky has made here. In addition to which, this is a vaccination site as well. And they have set up a site so that their workers can be vaccinated. And because people do work in, it's a big space, but they work in close proximity. So thinking about the safety and health of the workers and their families, we understand that about 60% of the workforce is vaccinated, but they move, and they move quickly. The senator pointed to a career path. I was witness about a year ago, or 2 years ago now, with the Career Pathways program that they have with high school juniors and seniors, where they train youngsters, and then at the end of that process, they hire. So that we are looking at an apprenticeship, an internship, a way for youngsters to be engaged because of an aging workforce and retirements, which is extraordinary. I just to tell you very quickly, this young man who was a senior in the program, he told me that he was in his junior year, he was getting the parts for the folks who were putting the parts in the helicopters. Then he looked at me and his eyes bright and shining, and he said to me, I am now, this year, I am putting the parts on the Black Hawk helicopter. Such pride in the work, and that's what this place is. It is all about national security, pride, workforce development, and a new pathway for young people to be engaged in this industry.
Yeah, I'm
Thank you.
glad Rosa mentioned the COVID issue. You know, these folks have been coming to work every day. They are essential frontline workers. They've been on the job every day, reporting for duty, no matter what the conditions with COVID. And some parts of this plant were pretty hard hit in the early days. They're now much better vaccinated than many other workplaces, but they are practicing the safest kind of precautions, mask wearing, physical distancing so far as they can. So these guys take tremendous pride in coming to work every day despite COVID, despite potential sickness at home. They're on the job reporting for duty. I have never seen so many American flags in any workplace. They are really dedicated to America. And it's so inspiring not only to see the new technology, but the way they're bringing that technology to bear for our great nation. And there are careers here, there are good jobs, there are careers with futures, and I hope we get the kind of workforce we need. Any questions?
Just if you could talk a little bit about, I'm sure there's some you can't share, but talking with the Secretary of the Navy and walking through here today, just the thoughts that were shared about the role Connecticut plays for the Navy particularly.
Well, look, just at a couple of things, I think it was clear to the Secretary of the role that Sikorsky plays in Connecticut, but internationally, and as I said, for our national security. And Connecticut was known as the arsenal of the Republic. We have a defense industry in Connecticut, and again, we are building the best helicopter in the world here. It was important for the Secretary and for the leadership at Sikorsky to run through the various parts of the development of what we're doing, how they are using robotics, how they are dealing with manufacturing. What they do is here, they design, they have vertical integration, they design and they manufacture right here the various parts that go on to the helicopters. And so what we talked to him about, and it's clear that what we want the Secretary of the Navy to understand that the role that Sikorsky plays, and that means when they're looking for and dealing with procurement, that what happens at Sikorsky and how efficient it has become, and making sure that there is the efficiency, the readiness, and at a cost that is efficient, and that it cuts the costs, that then they look with favor on honoring the contracts here for Sikorsky. And we will be working very, very hard to continue that conversation and letting them know. It's one thing to hear about it and to see a video about it. It's another thing to walk through each of the production areas and look at it, to look at the presidential helicopter and what is going on. That was the strength of the visit, for him to get some sense of what happens here, and that we will make sure that he doesn't forget what he saw here in terms of looking to those contracts.
Yeah, there's no question. There's no question that, and I was with him yesterday at Electric Boat. There's no question that the Navy Secretary was deeply impressed by the magnitude of the CH-53K, the complicated quality of composites that go into the materials that make it, the workmanship and design excellence. these helicopters are technological marvels, and the Secretary of the Navy, like any defense official, had to be deeply impressed. And his conversations to me indicated clearly he understands that these helicopters are technological marvels, and we need enough of them for our national defense. Now, I've been pressing the previous administration for more of them, and we increased the number beyond the President's request in the last defense budget through the Armed Services Committee. The acting secretary who came today is the acting secretary, and the Defense Department needs a real Navy secretary. It needs the full Department of Defense team. General Austin, as Secretary of Defense, needs and deserves a real Navy secretary. And I will be pressing for a robust Department of Defense team, because decisions can't be made about how many helicopters to buy until we have the full team in place. And I think that this Navy secretary was very impressed. But I want to make sure this message goes to the very top of the Pentagon.
Did he give any indication as to how many helicopters would be needed or anything like that?
No, I mean, look, what we did the last time here, and you asked about, and the senator talked about impressed. You could tell from his interest, you know, in asking questions, and you know, we're able to get into, you know, the 53K, and you know, and really the level of his interest and wanting to know more. And I know that as he left, he was asking for more information, you know, from the company's leaders that he wants to have. And we talked about having a continued dialogue, and then, you know, working with them. So I think, to repeat, I think he was deeply impressed. But what we did the last time, and it was in appropriations, 42 of the 60M Black Hawk helicopters, 19 combat rescue helicopters, and 9 of the CH-53Ks. And the 53K is that marvel, is a game changer. And that is something that we're going to be focused on and looking to, and to make sure that we can increase those numbers. And I think we have worked hard, and it's been we've had you know, good return on what we've been able to deliver to Connecticut. But we don't stop there, and we will continue on.
There are no
Okay.
precise numbers at this point, because the budget is only in the beginning stages.
We don't have a budget yet.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Don't have a budget yet.
There's no budget yet. There are no precise numbers, but there's a pretty good guarantee this place is going to be very busy this coming year. Very busy, because the nation needs more helicopters. And the CH-53K heavy lift is many times the size of anything built before in the rotary wing world. The CH-53K will do things never imagined by a helicopter before. It will deliver troops and equipment in quantities that would never have been thought possible by Igor Sikorsky, for sure. And so this place is going to be busy for the foreseeable future.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Take care. Be safe. Ciao. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
See you guys. Bye.
Enjoy the day.
Thank you. Thank you.
We weren't sure what they were going to talk about, but we have video from inside the plant about everything that senators and congressmen saw when they talked about, you know, we used to build the helicopters on paper, and now our employees do it with digital. We've got video that we'll send to your site. It's a Vimeo link. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay. So
Nobody will use it, but that's fine.
you can write about what you want, but if you do want to talk about how we are building differently, at least you have some pictures to go with it.
Yeah.
Um,
And you said it was video